Hello everyone, am I clearly audible and visible? So do tell me. So hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to the Finance 360-degree sessions in which we cover the relevant and important finance current affairs and the RBI notifications which are very important from your exam point of view. So do tell me that if I am audible and visible clearly. So I hope I am clearly audible and visible. So good morning Padmini, good morning Nitya, Sorish, Pratul, Neha, AFS, Priya, Shri. So do tell me if everything is clear and let's move ahead. Today we are going to discuss two very important news articles and the notifications of the Reserve Bank of India. The first one is regarding the bulk deposits. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the bulk deposits limits that have been increased by the Reserve Bank of India, or what are the changes that has happened. Okay, so we are going to discuss that, as well as we are going to discuss about the RBI that has proposed the digital payments intelligence platform. So what is this digital payment intelligence platform? What is the committee that has been constituted for this digital payment intelligence platform? So good morning everyone, and let's start with today's session. Today we are going to discuss two very important notifications of the Reserve Bank of India, press release of Reserve Bank of India, and they are quite in news and direct questions can be seen from these topics. So let's get started without any delay and we will understand this completely. But before starting with the session, do subscribe to the YouTube channel of EduTap and join our Telegram channel for the PDF of today's session. Okay, and the link for the Telegram channel is given in the description box below. So starting with the first news article, that is the Reserve Bank of India. See, in the statement on developmental and regulatory policy document that was released in June 2024, that is recently the Monetary Policy Committee meeting has happened, and with this Monetary Policy Committee meeting there is a statement on development and regulatory policy document. This was released on June 2024. Okay, now in the June 2024 there was the mention that the Reserve Bank of India is thinking of bringing the bulk deposit for the local area banks. Okay, and the Reserve Bank of India is also thinking of increasing the limit for the scheduled commercial banks. So what is this bulk deposit, as well as what is the change that has happened in the limit of the bulk deposit? So that we are going to understand. But the Reserve Bank of India had mentioned this bulk deposit in the statement on developmental and regulatory policies, and as I have told you that the RBI releases the separate notifications later on. So the RBI has released the separate notification regarding this topic separately. So separate notification has been released by the Reserve Bank of India on this topic that we are going to discuss. So first of all, the bulk deposit would now mean, see, bulk deposit. Here we are talking about the single rupee bulk deposit. Single rupee bulk deposit means, voice is a little low, just a second. So from here the voice is fine. Like everyone is facing this issue, audible and visible. So everyone, like all of you are facing this issue, or like only a few students? Okay, let me see, just a second. Audible? No problem. Okay then, just a second. The volume is fine, but still I have increased it. So let's see now. Okay, audible but voice low, manageable. Now is it fine? So I have increased the volume further, so I hope it is better now. So let's move ahead. Okay, so okay, I was discussing with you about this. So we were discussing about the single rupee term deposit. So see, single rupee term deposit, single rupee term deposit. What is the meaning of this? So single rupee term deposit means that they are the term deposit. They are the term deposit that is for a period of time. Okay, they will be taken out after the period has been finished. So they are the fixed deposits, they are the recurring deposits, and they are the single rupee. That means single rupee means they are the single bulk deposit that has happened. So let's say of 5 crores. So that is a huge amount. So single time deposits, that is a huge amount. That is the single rupee bulk deposit or single rupee term bulk deposit, we can say. Understood? Now is it understandable that what is the single rupee term deposit or a single rupee term deposit, that is known as the bulk deposit also. So this is the single rupee term deposit, that is the bulk deposit, that is also known as the bulk deposit. So single rupee term deposit means that they are the term deposits, they are in the form of fixed deposit, they are in the form of recurring deposits, and they are single. Single means they are one term deposit that is of huge quantity. Now what is that huge quantity? So single rupee term deposit, that is known as the bulk deposit, is for the scheduled commercial bank a term deposit that is of 3 crores and above, and this is also for the small finance bank. So if a term deposit has happened, a single term deposit has happened of 3 crore and above with the scheduled commercial bank and the small finance bank, this single term deposit will be known as the bulk deposit. Any confusion in this definition? Because this is very important to understand, because again and again you will hear in news the bulk deposit. In the IFSC examination, the question has come from the bulk deposit. In the RBI Grade B, the question can come directly, because again and again this is news. This is the news. Okay. So is it understandable? Is it understandable? Say yes or no. Say yes or no. Okay. So single rupee term deposits of rupees 1 crore and above for local area banks. So we have understood that single rupee term deposit of rupees 3 crore and above for the scheduled commercial bank and for the small finance bank will be known as the bulk deposit. Now if there is a single rupee term deposit of rupee 1 crore and above for the local area banks, this will be known as the bulk deposit. So if you are, let's say you are a person XYZ and you are going to a bank for a single term deposit of 1.5 crores. So this is 1 crore or above, and you are going to a local area bank. You are going to a local area bank and you are giving a single term deposit of 1.5 crore. So you can understand that this will be known as this single term deposit will be known as the bulk deposit. Any confusion, anyone? Say yes or no. Clear? Clear? Okay, nice. Very good. So now I hope you have understood. So the limits are, remember the limits, they are very, very important. For the scheduled commercial banks, for the small finance banks, the limit, or not the limit, the minimum limit we can say, or the definition of bulk deposit is for the scheduled commercial bank, for the small finance bank, that a single rupee or a single term deposit of 3 crore and above, For the local area banks, as well as for the regional rural banks, the minimum limit is that the bulk deposits are defined as the single rupee term deposit, of 1 crore and above. So this is the definition that you have to remember. So this is the amendment that the Reserve Bank of India has brought. This is the separate notification that the Reserve Bank of India has released, that this was the existing section that for the scheduled commercial bank, before it was said that if you are doing a term deposit, a single term deposit of 2 crore and above in the scheduled commercial bank, in the small finance bank, this will be known as the bulk deposit. And if you are doing a single term deposit of rupees 1 crore and above in the RRBs, this will be known as the term deposit. But now the definition has been enhanced, and it has been said that if you are doing a single term deposit of rupees 3 crore and above, not 2 crore, 3 crore and above in the scheduled commercial banks and small finance banks, then it will be called the bulk deposit. And before, this single rupee term deposit or the bulk deposit term was not present for the local area banks, but as it was for the RRBs, for the scheduled commercial bank, for the small finance banks. It was not for the local area banks. But now the local area banks have also been added. So single rupee term deposit of rupees 1 crore and above for regional rural banks and local area banks. So local area banks have been added. Local area banks have been added. Now if you are doing a term deposit, a single term deposit of 1 crore and above, this will be known as the bulk deposit, even if the deposit is happening with the local area bank, even if the deposit is happening with the local area bank. Okay, before for the local area bank there was no such thing as bulk deposit, but now the local area banks have been mentioned. So this is the whole article that I hope you have understood. If there is any confusion here, kindly ask. Okay, so this is the whole idea. I hope it is very much clear. So now see, bulk deposit, now you must be like thinking that I have heard this term bulk deposit. So yes, you have heard this term bulk deposit, because in January, as much as I remember, that in January 2024 there was the change in the definition, of the bulk deposit for the urban cooperative banks. Okay, so I have taken a complete session on the review of bulk deposit for the urban cooperative banks, in which it was said that the urban cooperative banks has been divided into 4 layers: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So urban cooperative banks are divided into 4 tiers. Okay, tier 4, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 and tier 4. So on the basis of their size of deposits, they are divided into 4 tiers: tier 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now it was said that before it was said that for all the urban cooperative banks, the bulk deposit will be that deposit that is the term deposit, single term deposit of rupees 15 lakh and above. But the RBI said that tier 4 and tier 3 urban cooperative banks are the big urban cooperative banks, so they should have the higher limit. So the limit for the tier 3 and tier 4 was increased, and for the urban cooperative banks that are in the tier 3 and tier 4, for them, if a single term deposit is happening of 1 crore and above, this will be known as the bulk deposit. But for all the other urban cooperative banks, like the tier 1 urban cooperative banks, tier 2 urban cooperative banks, the limit was kept as 15 lakh and above only for the bulk deposit. So I hope you now will remember that for the tier 1, for the tier 2 urban cooperative banks, the minimum limit of the term deposit is 15 lakh and above. If there is a single term deposit is happening of 15 lakh and above, they will be known as the bulk deposit in the tier 1 and tier 2. For the tier 3 plus tier 4 urban cooperative banks, if a term deposit is happening of 1 crore and above, they will be known as the single term deposit will be known as the bulk deposit. And this is the same limit for the local area banks. This is the same limit for the regional rural banks. And for the scheduled commercial banks, what is the limit of what is the mark of the bulk deposit? That there is a single rupee term deposit that is happening of 3 crores and above. So these are the numbers that you need to remember. So I have given you the strategy that how you can remember the numbers also. Tier 1, tier 2, 15 lakh and above. Regional rural banks, local area banks, tier 3 and tier 4 urban cooperative banks, 1 crore and above. Scheduled commercial banks and small finance banks, 3 crore and above. Very easy now. See, yes, term deposit, if it is a single term deposit of this mark and above, then it will be known as bulk deposit. Nothing much complicated, very easy concept it is. Okay, very good, very good. So now let's go to the next news article. So the first news article is very much clear, I hope. So coming to the second news article, the RBI to set up digital payment intelligence platform to prevent fraud. So the Reserve Bank of India has announced that we are creating a dedicated platform to address the digital payment frauds. So recently the Reserve Bank of India is very much focused on the digital payment frauds. Why is it so? How many of you remember the data from the annual report regarding the fraud analysis? So I hope you remember that in the annual report, in the fraud analysis, there was clear mention that the frauds in numbers have increased especially, and this is majorly predominantly in the category of digital payments, card or internet. So frauds have occurred predominantly in the category of digital payments, card or internet in terms of number. So the Reserve Bank of India is saying that we need to create a dedicated platform to address this problem of the digital payment fraud, because the frauds are increasing in number and they are predominantly coming from the digital payment. Okay, the digital payment frauds are happening in the card and internet. So I hope this is clear. In terms of value, the frauds have been reported primarily in the loan portfolio. Okay, so this is another thing. So here you can see that in terms of number, the frauds have increased in 2023-24, and 80% of the frauds in numbers, they are coming from the card or internet category, that is the digital payments category, right? So this is the idea. So in the amount, the frauds have decreased, but in the number, the frauds have increased. In the number, the frauds have increased, and predominantly the frauds in the numbers, they are coming from the card and internet in the digital payment. So for sure, the Reserve Bank of India is focused towards addressing the digital payment fraud. As well as recently, we have also discussed the Harbinger 2024. This is the hackathon that the Reserve Bank of India released, and if you remember that what is the theme 1 of this Harbinger 2024. So previous session that I have taken is on the Harbinger 2024. So anyone remembers the theme of this Harbinger 2024? The first theme, not the second one, the first theme. The first theme is zero financial frauds. So you can understand that in the Harbinger 2024, that is a hackathon, in that also the Reserve Bank of India is focused on zero financial frauds, as well as the Reserve Bank of India is doing everything and anything to address the problem of digital payment frauds, because as per the fraud analysis, you can understand that in terms of number, the frauds have occurred predominantly in the category of digital payments, and the frauds in numbers are increasing. So that is a troublesome situation, right? So the RBI governor, in his speech, he said that seeing the growing instances of the digital payment frauds highlight the need for the system-wide approach to prevent and mitigate such frauds. We have to detect, we have to prevent, we have to mitigate the financial frauds. It is therefore proposed to establish a digital payments intelligence platform for network level intelligence and real-time data sharing across the digital payment ecosystem. So real-time data sharing should happen from the card networks to the banks to the digital wallets and everything. So the real-time data sharing should happen between the digital payment ecosystem, okay, between the financial intermediaries that are involved in the digital payment ecosystem. There should be real-time data sharing that should happen. Okay, so real-time data sharing is required, as well as a network level intelligence is required. That means network intelligence is a kind of monitoring that uses a combination of data, algorithms, the spatial techniques to analyze the network information, to analyze the data. So it provides the data insights, it provides the higher level of the information, that how this data can be used to extract what we want. So network level intelligence is needed and the real-time data sharing is needed, so that the real-time data can be used for taking out the insights, for monitoring the whole ecosystem. Okay, so I hope you can understand that it has been said that the digital payment intelligence platform is needed for the network level intelligence and real-time data sharing. So why the digital payment intelligence platform is needed? For the real-time data sharing between the digital payment participants, as well as there is the network level intelligence that will be drawn. Okay, network intelligence is a kind of monitoring that uses the data, that uses the algorithms, spatial techniques to analyze the information and the data. Okay. So now the details are that the Reserve Bank of India has been continuously working towards the safety and the security of the digital payments to maintain the public confidence in the digital payment system. Because if the frauds are increasing, you can understand that the people's confidence is decreasing. That you know that if you share your OTP, your money can be taken. You know if you share your details, the money can be taken from your account. You know that if you scan the QR code, then also the money can be taken. So various rumors can be spread, and this will decrease the people's confidence in the digital ecosystem because of the fraud that is happening. So RBI has been continuously working to develop the public confidence into the digital payment system. Now, sustaining such confidence would require minimizing the frauds. The payment ecosystem such as the banks, such as the National Payment Corporation of India, card networks, payment aggregators, payment apps, they are all taking various measures on an ongoing basis to protect the customers from the frauds. There is the two-factor authentication that happens when you are swiping the card, the PIN that is generated. Okay, so there are various measures that they are taking to protect the customers from the frauds. But there is still a need that we have to share the data between the payment ecosystem, between the participants, so that the network level intelligence can be developed and the frauds can be detected, can be mitigated, can be prevented, right? So this is the idea. So it is therefore proposed to set up a digital payment intelligence platform which will harness the advanced technologies, the machine learning, the artificial intelligence and such to mitigate the payment fraud risk. So how this digital payment intelligence platform will be developed? So for this, a committee has been set up by the Reserve Bank of India to take this initiative forward of the digital payment intelligence platform. To take this initiative forward, the Reserve Bank has constituted a committee that has the chairman Shri A.P. Hota. So Shri A.P. Hota, former MD and CEO of NPCI, he is the chairman of this committee, and this committee will examine various aspects of the setting up of a digital public infrastructure for the digital payment intelligence platform. So remember that the chairman of the committee is Shri A.P. Hota. Okay. So the committee is expected to give its recommendations within 2 months. So that is the expectation. Now this is the first question. I hope you will be easily able to answer this question. So this is the first question. Try to answer this question. This is a homework question. And this is the second question. Again, very easy. You now know that what is this digital payment intelligence platform. The committee has been set up to provide the various aspects that how this digital payment intelligence platform can be set up. Okay. So before ending this session, I want to show you that we have developed a very beautiful, just give me a second, okay? Just give me a second. So we have developed a very beautiful website that you can see. I hope you can see this website clearly, and this is the website that has been developed for you. So here, so this is the website that has been developed for you. And so here, if you go to the free material, if you go to the blog section, you can see that there are the blogs that have been created for you, the blogs that have been written for you, so that you can get the in-depth information regarding the exam. If you want to know about the job profile, if you want to know about the strategy, the courses, the success stories, you can know all the important information through this website. Okay. So if you go to the RBI Grade B, if you want to know about the exam information, that what is the exam analysis, is the RBI Grade B tough, if you want to know about the eligibility criteria, the cutoff marks and such, so you can easily know the exam information. If you go to the blog section, you can read various important information regarding the exam. If you want to know about the strategy, that what is the strategy for the government schemes, what is the strategy that I should adopt for the current affairs, you can know the strategy from here. If you want to know about the courses, you can go to the courses section and you can know about the courses also, as well as if you want to know about the success stories, that how the aspirants have been able to achieve their dreams, what strategy they followed to achieve their dream, and they at last achieved their dreams. So if you want to know about their success story, you can read the blogs and you can know the strategies that they have adopted. I hope this is clear. And at last, at the end of the page here, join our Telegram channel. So if you join here, you can directly get the PDF. Okay. So if you join the Telegram channel, in the Telegram channel we put the PDFs, so you can download the PDFs through this Telegram channel. So this is it. So thank you very much for joining the session, and do see the blogs also, because they are very, very important from your understanding perspective. Okay, if you want to understand more about the examination, if you want to have any clarity regarding the examination, if you want to have the strategy for the examination, so you can read the blogs and you can know more about the examination. You can have more clarity about the examination. So this is it from my side. I hope you will be able to give the answers of the homework question and do give the right answer of the 2 homework questions. Okay, so this is it. Thank you very much and thank you for joining the session. If you have any query, you can comment down below. Okay, so do comment down below if you have any query. You are most welcome. Nilesh, AFS, Sorish, Priya, Pratul, Nitya, Ritika, Vishwajit, Padmini, Bharti, so Somi. So thank you so much for joining the session and thank you so much for your well wishes also. And let's meet on Thursday now. Okay, one more announcement that on Wednesday, that is tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. I'm going to take a session of the SEBI circulars. Okay, so a session is going to be conducted at 6:30 p.m. On Wednesday for SEBI circulars from January to May. So all the important SEBI circulars that the RBI Grade B students need to know, that the SEBI Grade A students need to know, that will be discussed in this session, so that like you are at least not missing out from the important circulars. So the most important SEBI circulars that are important from the RBI perspective, from the SEBI perspective, they will be discussed tomorrow from January to May, so that you have the clarity that what are important circulars and what you have to read from them. Okay, so this is a initiative that has been taken for you, so I hope you will be joining this session. So thank you very much for joining the session today, and let's meet tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. So thank you very much everyone. Thank you for joining.